When the judge comes in, you please stand up.
Yes,
Future. All right. Call the matter of the People versus Payton Thompson, 226944 SM. Mr. Thompson appears via Zoom. His attorney is Henry McRoberts, who is here in person. The prosecution appears through Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Alex Szymanski. My docket indicates a plea. We've had a Cobb's hearing concerning the matter. Then, Mr. McRoberts, Mr. Szymanski, what is the status, please?
Your Honor, it's Mr. Thompson's, will be entering a no contest plea to the pending charges. There's 2 counts. I do have a copy of the misdemeanor complaint to make out the elements. The reason for the no contest plea is the potential liability, but may approach, I have the complaint.
You may. Thank you.
And I did provide advice of rights to Ms. Carey.
All right, thank you. Are there any other terms?
No, Your
All right, concerning the matter then, Mr. Thompson, it's my understanding then you will be pleading no contest to both counts in the criminal complaint. Is that my understanding?
yes, Your Honor.
All right, count 1 alleges aggravated assault. It is a misdemeanor. The maximum penalty is up to 1 year in jail and or up to a $1,000 fine plus court costs. A consecutive sentence may be imposed if that assault was committed in a place of confinement. This offense resulted in damage to another individual's property or physical injury or death to another individual, therefore restitution is applicable. Count 2 alleges wearing a mask or a disguise to commit a crime. That is a misdemeanor. The maximum penalty on that is up to 90 days in jail and or up to a $500 fine plus court costs are added. There could be immigration consequences as a result of your conviction. For example, you may have difficulty entering into a foreign country as a result of this conviction. If you're not a citizen of the United States, a conviction may result in removal or deportation from the United States, exclusion from admission to the United States, or the denial of naturalization. Do you understand the nature of these charges and the maximum penalties then, Mr. Thompson?
Yes, Your Honor.
To the charges, what is your plea?
No contest.
Mr. Thompson, before I accept your no contest plea, I want to make sure you understand the rights you're giving up by pleading no contest. First off, what is your full legal name?
Payton William Thompson.
Mr. Thompson, I have an advice of rights with your signature dated January 9th. Did you understand all of the rights contained in the form before you signed it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand then you have the absolute right to have a jury trial in your case, and in some instances you have a right to a trial by court?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand then by pleading no contest, you give up your right to have either a jury trial or a bench trial?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you understand you give up the right to exercise each of the trial rights listed in this form?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand the court is free to impose any sentence that the court feels is appropriate up to the maximum provided by law?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you understand that a no contest plea is treated the same as a guilty plea for purposes of sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Understanding that and the other things I've gone over here with you, does it remain your intention to plead no contest?
Yes.
Are you presently on probation or parole to any court?
No, Your Honor.
Has anybody promised you anything in order to get you to plead no contest?
No, Your Honor.
Has anybody forced you or coerced you in any way to get you to plead no contest?
No, Your Honor.
Has anybody told you the courts would be more lenient with you if you pled no contest?
No, Your Honor.
Are you pleading no contest freely, voluntarily, and understandingly?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Saminsky, is there an objection to the court drawing the factual basis from the complaint?
No, Your Honor.
All right, I'm referring to Police Agency Report number M85-568-22, CTN 22-22000-285-01. It alleges on or about April 1st of 2022, with the victim or complainant being Trentin McWilliams, that Mr. Payton William Thompson did in the city in Norway Township, Dickinson County, state of Michigan, make an assault without being armed with a weapon upon Trentin McWilliams, and did inflict a serious or aggravated injury upon said person, but without intending to commit the crime of murder or to inflict great bodily harm, less than the crime of murder. Count 2 alleges he did intentionally conceal his identity by wearing a mask or other device covering his face for purpose of facilitating the commission of the crime. Probable cause indicates the defendant and several co-defendants acted in concert to assault the victim. The group wore masks and gloves to conceal their identity. The victim suffered serious injuries which required medical and dental treatment. In respect to the serious injuries, I would prefer to state on the record some of the injuries that were sustained as I understand them. And you can tell me if you object, but there were teeth broken requiring dental treatment. There was stitches required on an eyebrow, injury and bruising to a knee. There was a septum fracture, I believe. Mr. Saminsky, anything else you want to supplement the record with?
No, Your Honor, I believe that's consistent with the injuries that are reported in both the pre-sentence report and from the police report.
Mr. McRoberts?
That's my understanding of the injuries that were alleged in the documents that I received through the discovery.
All right, I think the court is able to conclude from the nature of the injuries and the circumstances. One, the wearing of the mask. Two, there being a group assault. There was serious or aggravated injury to Mr. McWilliams without rising to the level of the crime of murder or to inflict great bodily harm, less than the crime of murder. There was a requirement for medical and dental treatment. I believe that both elements then of the complaint have been met. Are you satisfied, Mr. Saminsky?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you, Mr. McRoberts?
I am, Your Honor, thank you.
Is either counsel aware of any promises, threats, or inducements in order to get Mr. Thompson to plead no contest that have not been placed on the record at this time, Mr. McRoberts?
No, Your Honor.
How about you, Mr. Saminsky?
No, Your Honor.
And does counsel believe the court has complied with the taking of pleas under MCR 6.610? Mr. McRoberts?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Saminsky?
Yes, Your Honor. If I could just, to the middle question, I assume the court's taking notice of its own Cobb's hearing.
Yes, thank you. In respect to the matter, then I will, for the record, take judicial notice of the Cobb's hearing that was conducted several weeks ago and the court's comments, the basis upon which the comments were made for purposes of the sentencing, and also for purposes of the record concerning the no contest plea. Is that acceptable?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, then, Mr. Thompson, I'm going to find that the elements of the no contest plea have been met. I'm also finding your plea of no contest this morning has been made freely, voluntarily, and understandingly. I'm going to accept your no contest plea and find you guilty of the charges. We're going to set the matter for sentencing. In the meantime, I'm going to give you a phone number if you can find something to write with.
could also text him the number, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. McRoberts is gonna text you the number.
I think
I
I
got it.
found something.
Okay. All right, so you're gonna call probation. They're gonna be making a written pre-sentence recommendation about what they feel an appropriate sentence is. You'll go over that with your lawyer. Also, this morning, they'll let you know how much your fines and costs are. Fines and costs are due at the time of sentencing. Sentencing will be on February 16th at 9 a.m. This will come in the mail as well. Your bond terms remain in place in the meantime. The phone number is 906-774-7522. February 16th, 9 a.m., 7522. All right, then. Bond in place in the meantime. Any questions, Mr. Thompson?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. McRoberts, anything else?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Saminsky?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, counsel. We'll be off the record. Call that number now then. Thank you.
So I'm writing emails every day and it's definitely a big part of my job. And sometimes I get mixed up switching between texting slang and professional emails, but having Grammarly integrated in my email definitely keeps me confident that